Sweet Baby Inc. is out here taking souls of games that you've never even heard of. Unknown 9 Awakening. Raise your hand if you've ever heard about this game prior to this video. No, nobody. Not even you in the back of it. No, Unknown 9 doesn't make any. No, there's not 8 previous entries into this franchise. It's one of these games that has, Sweet Baby Inc. all over it. Kim Belair is the story architect, CEO of SBI, as you know, and yeah, okay. It has poor pre-order numbers, atrocious Steam wishlist ranking, and it's gonna dive bomb, just like Flintlock, just like Tales of Kenzara Zhao, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, all of those ones. But here's the thing, man, okay? You know why all of those games failed? It's because they sucked, okay? Because even if Sweet Baby Inc. is working on your project, doesn't mean that it can't be successful. Because, well, take a look at this. God of War Ragnarok just launched on PC, and as you can see right now, yeah, it's doing just fine, okay? And over this weekend, it's probably going to be doing fantastically. And frankly, I need to play the first one, but everything that I've seen, and of course, the big breakdowns and all the love that EFAP heaps on it, and it's like, also, my playing the earlier iterations in the franchise, it kind of makes me partial to the game. But yeah, after seeing a lot of gameplay, after seeing the story broken down, I can go ahead and slap my seal of approval on it for whatever that means, okay? Take it for what you will. I haven't played the game, but I've seen the story through in totality, and I can spot the SBI influence, and yeah, it's the worst part of the game, but does it ruin it? Absolutely not. It's very rare that you actually get a big budget telling of a father and son story, so you got to take it where you can get it, and this one, it's quite good, and it's getting received as such, even though it has Sweet Baby Inc. on it. So you can't throw all of them in the same basket. When a game fails, when a game has DEI or woke influence in it, or woke adjacent companies on it, doesn't mean that the game is going to be crap. Doesn't mean that just because one studio under a bigger banner does one thing. Like, take a look at Sony, right? Like, they've got Santa Monica Studios that does the God of War series, okay? 2018 and Ragnarok, those being runaway successes. And then what else do they have? Well, they have Firewalk Studios. Don't know for how long. Don't even know if they're still going to be open by the time that you guys see this video or not. But they did Concord. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? In regards to ownership, but when it comes to implementing their strategies, well, one decides to go whole hog and the other one decides to go whole hog on a good story. It's different. It's big difference. So just because you can play connect the dots with a game and a parasite to the industry doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad. I don't know a damn thing about Unknown 9 Awakening. Frankly, nobody really does. Published by Bandai Namco, developed by Reflector Entertainment. I have no idea what any of this means at all, but it's ranked in the 3,092nd on Steam in top sellers and 390th most wishlisted game. Oh my god, 4,800 followers. It's not great. Apparently they did the bog standard thing, and this isn't just a goofy screenshot. Okay, they did the regular take a chick, and I don't know what to do with her, because that right there, Indian chicks aren't necessarily my thing. The dot, not feather. Not really feather either, even though I'm a quarter. What do you self-hate? It's like in a certain instance, okay? Take it for what you will. But they did the thing where it's like, why you gotta do that? Okay, why she gotta have the jaw? Why does she gotta have, the goofy face? Why does she gotta have the sunken eyes? Why can't she just be, why can't she just be a 7? But you do stuff like that, and your game deserves to fail, okay? You lay with dogs, you get fleas. Same thing over at Xbox, right? Because they're out there pitching a Civ clone, and that looks shockingly a lot like Civ 6, at least in presentation, but they're going to be offering Ara History Untold with its non-binary leaders. I beg your pardon, if you're going to be offering a history untold, well, this is definitely going to be an untold history, because Joan of Arc, Joan pretty much established to be a woman. I don't think there was any confusion there. She had a lot of confusing aspects, but non-binary, ooh, that's not one of them. Nefertiti, yeah, that's a bitch. That's a bitch throughout all of history. But according to what? Achievements here as a female or non-binary leader? Like, who? Harry Queen of Scots? I don't really think so, bro. Oh, take a look at who's on the development team. Narrative designer and historian Grace Rojas explained, in my eyes, history is about storytelling. Yes, and from somebody else's grandma, they don't care what they taught or what they taught you in school. Cleopatra is black. It's a common misconception that history is strictly about facts and figures. You're a historian and you're saying that history is not strictly about facts. I beg your pardon! In the case of games like ours, the victors and the losers, but history goes way beyond that. But to be completely honest, man, like you've got a Microsoft game, it's something that's going to be on the Xbox. It's not going to sell that well. And that's something from the outside looking in going, it's like, well, that's obvious, man. You're putting your ideology and you're infecting the product. That is a clear and explicit example. That's why that game is going to fail. That's why Unknown 9 is going to fail. And then when you hear stories like this, and yeah, I'm going to simp for Final Fantasy again because I love the franchise. I got another video coming out telling you that, you know, the mainline franchise is in the best shape that it's been probably in about 20 years. And I'm not going to retract that. That video is coming out, I think, Monday or something like that. But not once in that video do I say I have any love for Square Enix as a company. Like, Final Fantasy is succeeding in spite of Square Enix because creativity died with Squaresoft, and it's just, you see these little embers of life that's out there. But you have all of those people now want to go ahead and, you know, point out the woke. The DEI detected, you know, as much good work as Kabrutus has done this year. He's also put games questionably in his crosshairs that I don't necessarily agree with because I've played them, and I can vouch for them. And so when you hear proclamations from Square Enix saying that Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Rebirth didn't meet profit expectations, if you're looking at everything through a modern lens, and yes, I'm going to use this for the other side of the conversation, then you're just going to go ahead and say, oh, get woke, go broke, that's why you fail. But then you also have to understand and, you know, take a grander mindset to this and go, yes, Square Enix is kind of a stupid company. Okay, like they always have a grandiose visions of all of their games selling in the tens of millions. Like, what were you expecting, man? Like, the quality of game that Final Fantasy is putting out, and that's basically the gist of the video that I have coming out, okay? Without spoiling all too much, if you want the details, check in on Monday. But 16 on PC right now, it's kicking all types of ass. 7 Rebirth, when it eventually does come to PC, I'm hoping and praying for an announcement here, either at TGS or at, you know, Jeff Keighley's stupid Sony Suckathon. He's been, you know, dropping some hints out there that he's got some news or something like that. If he can go ahead and get the PS Pro's or the PS5 Pro's dick out of his mouth long enough to make an announcement, that's going to be a huge mover. And the fact that Square Enix has been so coy with revealing the sales totals of the PS5 exclusive Rebirth, when I ran the numbers earlier this year based on different comparisons that are out there, it's sold between 2.5 and 3 million copies. At least by this point in time, probably 3 million, but it was between 2.5 and 2.8 based on where it sat between, what was it, Tekken 8 and Dragon's Dogma 2. But yeah, moving 2.5, 2.8 million copies on a console exclusive, that's pretty good. If it was multi-plat, honestly, it would have moved a hell of a lot more. They would have made more money, and they might have been able to overcome that exclusivity deal that they cut with Sony. Don't know how much that's for. I don't think we've ever seen that number released, but obviously it was enough at the time where Square Enix thought that, you know what, that's going to be a good decision. Okay, the PS5 is really owning this console generation. We can go ahead and make a lot of good money off of that, now realizing that PC is obviously booming at this point in time. But that deal, that exclusivity deal, was obviously cut because you remember, you know, the remake announcement was made at a Sony show and the PS4 was killing the game at the time. So yeah, they probably snatched up the entire remake project. And Square Enix with its new direction that they also announced earlier this year. So yeah, this announcement, I thought they were just running back old news, but no. There was a new press conference. There was a new earnings call held, and yeah, they had to run that back and let you know that, yeah, they missed our expectations. But yeah, Square Enix, like I said, is a very stupid company. Square Enix president and representative director Takashi Kiryu revealed that the company's two most recent recently released Final Fantasy titles, 16 and Rebirth, did not meet the company's profit expectations. In a document outlining the company's financial results, a briefing that was held in May but only published today, Kiryu shared in the HD Games subsegment, we released multiple new titles, including major titles such as 16 and Rebirth, but profits unfortunately did not meet expectations, despite the release of Foam Stars, which died on the vine. And another big reason why, Square Enix decided, we're just gonna focus on not crap. How about that? Okay, and 7 Rebirth in Q4. Initial sales were not as strong as expected. In addition, to what an impairment was made to the content production account, resulting in the operating loss. Okay, the company had an operating loss of 8.1 billion yen, or $5.7 million. And yeah, like I said, all of those announcements were made in May. It's just we finally got the text here in the past couple of days. As for why these games did not meet profit expectations, Kiryu suggested it had to do with the company mismanaging its title's release windows. Yeah, because 16, when it was released on PS5, that was, I forget specifically when that was released. Wasn't that over the summer last year? Something like that. HD Games subsegment failed to better its profitability, posting operating losses in every year in the previous medium-term plan. In addition to this, we did not manage our title portfolio across the company as well as we could have. Yeah, exactly. You flooded the market with shit. Let's call it what it is. Square Enix used to be a sign of somewhat quality, but ended up just being associated with tripe for spanking anybody, which I believe resulted in opportunity losses due to cannibalization between our own titles. Interestingly, Square Enix had previously informed IGN it considered the initial sales results of 16 to be extremely strong, and we continue to carry out a wide range of initiatives to encourage even more people to play the game, which is what we're seeing right now. And yeah, it's right now the PC port is the top seller on Steam, and like you'll see on Monday when I caught my screenshot, I think it was 21 or something like that, but yeah, 22,000 people. And just for a little bit of context, I'm recording this Thursday evening, so yeah, 22,000 the concurrent players for a game that's a year old. This is really not bad at all. And the fact that, yeah, it's the best seller that's out there just lets you know that it was definitely hamstrung by the PS5, and that if Sony could go ahead, if Square Enix could get their head out of their ass, what they're apparently trying to do after this meeting back in May is what they're apparently trying to do, then yeah, people will be able to play these good games, okay? So I haven't heard much about Final Fantasy 16, but what I have heard is fantastic combat. Story's a little bit, but overall, not woke, not ideological, just a fun experience. And I can tell you firsthand, I'm on my second playthrough of Rebirth. Shit is fantastic. I cannot recommend that game highly enough. And is it woke? Absolutely not. But a lot of people will point to, it failed to meet expectations. Square Enix has DEI department. It's not gonna be good at all. That's why I missed sales expectations. Cloud has bigger butt than Aerith. It's like, that's what you're going to use as a metric. You're going to use the honeybee in segment. You're going to be using weird models when the models that you have lined up there, Scarlet actually has the biggest ass, and it's like you're comparing models that you never see, and then also kind of pointing, it's like, yeah, wow, imagine that. The guy has the most muscle mass. Very strange own that you have there, but much as I love Grum's, much as I appreciate his reporting, got this weird paint everything with one brush approach to this stuff, when in reality, not all Sweet Baby Inc. games are made the same, okay? Not everything that is made under the same umbrella for every Microsoft game that's out there that has ideology infused in it. There might be something different. I can't really speak to Microsoft. It's been a minute since I played a first-party title from them. But yeah, when it comes to Sony, they'll drop a Concorde on your head, but then at the same time also release an Astrobot. Then for Final Fantasy, if you have a problem with Woke Lamau over there on 14, if you know, you know, and if you don't, the new expansion is causing some problems with this non-binary character that actually everybody hates, not because they're non-binary, it's just because they suck as a character. If you want to go ahead and say that it's bad because it's woke, that's one thing, but you got to cite your sources. That's all I'm saying. The games are great. Square Enix can go ahead and right the ship. It's just, if you're going to be trying to make any substantive changes, perhaps you should focus on Dragon Quest HD 2D remake, because you guys are messing with some things over there, especially when it comes with Akira Toriyama art. It's definitely going to negatively affect your profits that you're so desperately trying to fix. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.